Welcome to my channel. This is Chucky in the basement. And today we are counting down our picks for top 10 times they should not have gone downstairs. Let's do it. Number 10. The Fly. If you want to get real technical about it, it was actually the fly that shouldn't have flown into the house in the first place. But that's beside the point. In Child's Play 2, Chucky has been resurrected again after being burnt to a crisp by Andy's mother. And this time, he's in search of revenge against the boy who killed him. We open on a shot of a fly buzzing around an apartment. It lands on a record player where a single red drop of blood slowly starts to appear on its body. The fly continues to crawl around as if nothing is wrong, but soon enough, it falls victim to a pair of scissors. That's when the blood starts to rapidly spread across its body, and it drops to the floor below. When the camera pans to show us Chucky sitting nearby, watching the entire thing with interest, we realize that he's the one who stabbed the fly and marked it with his own blood. It's then revealed that he used that blood to help mark where he needs to stab next to bring his little buddy to life. Oh, how sweet! A tiny doll stabbing a fly to death, and then using its blood to mark where he will be stabbed so that he can come back to life. What a nice guy. No, the wrong doll. Just like any self-respecting killer doll, Chucky likes to take a little break from murdering people every now and then to watch some television. He has quite eclectic taste in programming too. In one scene from Curse of Chucky, he can be seen glued to the screen during a live broadcast of a talk show hosted by none other than Wendy Williams. If you think that's ridiculous, it gets even more absurd. When Chucky is done watching TV, he throws the remote at the screen and proceeds to chase after Nicka Pierce, his current owner. She runs to her sister's room and hides under her bed, which is fair enough. But then she makes the terrible mistake of grabbing the wrong doll to hide with her. Yes, Nicka grabs another good guy doll, puts on a nightgown, and tries to hide under the bed covers. And just like that, she becomes the worst older sister in the world. Even though she knows that this doll is possessed, she decides to risk her own life and sacrifice the other doll instead of just shoving Chucky under the bed herself. Because let's be real, no amount of hiding is going to stop this doll from finding you. So why not just hide with him instead of sacrificing someone else? Number 8. Bathroom break. After spending most of Seed of Chucky living inside a trash bag, Chucky finally decides to move into a real home. He chooses the home of Tiffany, his former girlfriend and fellow serial killer doll. The two dolls are reunited and waste no time getting busy. Soon enough, they're both lying in bed ready to go to sleep. But before they can tuck themselves in, Chucky gets a terrible case of the giggles. He tries his best to hold it in, but he can't help himself from letting loose. This wakes up Glenn, their son, who is still asleep in his crib. And Chucky thinks it would be funny to scare him. So he leaves the bedroom and goes to the bathroom to make a funny face at him through the toilet. But Glenn takes one look at this demonic doll staring at him through the porcelain throne and promptly loses his mind. Is it really that surprising, though? I mean, the doll came out of the toilet, so it's only natural for a baby doll to assume that this must be some sort of horrifying creature from the underworld. Number 7. Sleepover. If you want your child to have the best chance at surviving a sleepover, here are 3 easy steps. Step 1. Do not invite a serial killer doll to your child's sleepover. Step 2. Check all of your locks to make sure that the windows and doors are fully shut. And step 3. Avoid mentioning anything to do with bees or beehives. Following these steps should ensure that your child doesn't wake up missing an eye. Unfortunately, Andy Barkley's mom didn't get the memo. In Child's Play, Andy invites his friend over for a sleepover. While telling stories in the dark, this comment terrifies Chucky, who happens to be listening nearby, because he was once stung by a bee while he was still human, and it killed him. Realizing what a scaredy cat Chucky is, Andy's mom decides to pay him back for all the trouble he has caused in the past by leading him to the attic door and leaving it open. As soon as Andy's mom leaves the room, Chucky immediately crawls towards the stairs. You gotta love a supportive mother. Number 6. Subway Surfers. It's safe to say that Chucky isn't exactly the brightest bulb in the batch. The doll often repeats phrases incorrectly and sometimes forgets where he's supposed to be. But occasionally, the dim-witted toy does something smart. In Cult of Chucky, Nika and her friends are trying to get away from Chucky and his army of possessed dolls. They lock themselves in the basement and try to come up with a plan to escape the building. When Chucky arrives, he taunts them from the top of the basement stairs, suggesting that they all just play a fun game of charades. The humans decide to follow this suggestion. One girl pretends to be a rabbit, while another pretends to be a monkey. Then Chucky shouts, "Subway," which prompts Nika to act out riding the subway. This confuses Chucky, who has never ridden public transportation before, and he decides to go investigate. As soon as he's out of sight, Nika tells her friends that they need to run for it. No, 5. Hide and seek. Now, if you know anything about Chucky, you already know that playing hide and seek is probably a bad idea. Not only can this doll easily find you no matter where you hide, but he also enjoys scaring people. So why anyone would ever suggest this game around him is beyond me. In the first film, Andy and his mom are playing hide and seek while Chucky watches them with jealousy from the shelf above. He calls out, "Ready or not, here I come," then jumps down and begins his search. Meanwhile, Andy finds a great hiding spot in the coat closet. Unfortunately for his mother, she doesn't find a very good hiding spot behind the fridge. Chucky sneaks up on her and stabs her in the back. This causes her to fall forward right in front of Andy, who thinks that Chucky did this to her on purpose. It was at this moment that Andy learned that dolls couldn't just kill people by stabbing them in the back. Otherwise, hide and seek would become a very dangerous game. Number 4. The attic. Like bees, attics are another thing that Chucky hates. Something about attics gives this doll the willies. Maybe it's all the dust or the spiders. Whatever it is best not to lead this doll up there, unless you want him to start asking questions about your life choices. In Child's Play 2, Maggie, Andy's foster mother, is cleaning out the house and comes across a box labeled dolls. She brings the box down the stairs and opens it up to reveal Chucky. Realizing that this doll belongs in the attic, she grabs him and heads upstairs. The moment she turns her back, Chucky grabs onto her hair and instructs her to put him somewhere else. He then leaps out of her hands and scuttles up the stairs to the attic, yelling, "Wrong place, lady." From this moment forward, Maggie is doomed. Even though she has no idea that this doll is possessed, she treats him with far too much kindness. Chucky pays her back by waiting until she enters the shower and then climbing in with her. Don't worry, though, Chucky doesn't harm her. Instead, he simply yells at her and demands that she clean him with soap. How sweet. No. 3. The mirror. If you've ever seen a horror movie in your life, you already know that looking into mirrors and other reflective surfaces is generally a bad idea. If you want to survive the movie, don't do it. In Curse of Chucky, Nika moves into a new house with her friends, Boone and Jill. The 3 of them are drinking around the house when Jill suggests that they take turns staring into the mirror for 5 seconds without making a sound. Boy, she shouldn't have suggested that. Suddenly, Chucky appears in the reflection behind her and scares her half to death. This freaks her out so much that she drops her drink and runs off. Later, she takes a few sips of wine to calm herself down. But little does she know that Chucky slipped inside the bottle and poured himself a glass. This means that she has actually been drinking straight from the source this whole time, and she won't even realize it until she sees his face peering back at her from the bottle. As if things couldn't get worse, she empties the remaining wine into the sink and washes her hands without realizing that she just washed Chucky down the drain. Number 2. The elevator. In general, elevators are terrifying. For some reason, whenever I ride them, they always seem to stop between floors or get stuck in the middle of the shaft. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. But if you share my fear of elevators, you definitely won't want to watch this scene. In Seed of Chucky, Tiffany and Chucky are posing for photos in a hotel when the lights suddenly go out. The power is out, and the elevator they're in comes to a halt. To make matters worse, they're stuck between floors, and the emergency exit is blocked by debris. Just as they begin to panic, the elevator starts moving again, taking them higher and higher until the ceiling of the elevator becomes the floor. The elevator eventually stops, and the doors open, revealing that they're on the roof. While Chucky thinks this is great, Tiffany quickly realizes that this could be very bad news. The wind is blowing hard, and she fears that she might fall off. Luckily for her, the wind blows Chucky away instead, sending him plummeting to his doom. No. 1. The couch. Sitting on couches is typically considered to be a safe activity, especially if the couch in question doesn't belong to Charles Lee Ray. In Child's Play, Andy accidentally brings Chucky home from the store. Andy is playing video games while Chucky sits on the couch quietly observing him. Every now and then, Chucky will reach out and touch Andy's shoulder, which makes him jump out of his seat. At first, Andy thinks that his mom is doing this to him, but later, he realizes that she's fast asleep in her bedroom. After Andy finishes playing his video games, he decides to go to bed. But when his mom walks in to tuck him in, she disappears after she sees what's on the couch. Yeah, nope. Sleeping with serial killer dolls is not something I want to have to deal with. Thanks for watching. That was 10 times they shouldn't have gone downstairs. If you enjoyed this video, maybe check out my top 10 scariest Chucky quotes. I'm the host, and I'll see you next time on Chucky in the Basement.